The early morning sun filtered softly through the blinds in Emily and Kobe's Kansas home, casting a warm glow across the living room. There were toys scattered across the carpet, tiny cars, dolls with missing shoes, and a sippy cup that someone had forgotten to close properly. A typical morning in the household of a couple raising three energetic children. But today felt different, calmer, a little heavier, a little brighter. Emily sat curled up on the couch, wrapped in a plush throw blanket, her dark hair pulled into a messy bun that perfectly matched her exhausted smile. She placed a protective hand over her belly, not yet visibly round, but already full of meaning. She let out a long exhale. Tired, she whispered to herself. So tired, but then she smiled wide, genuine, and glowing in a way only a mother who's just received the sweetest news can, because Emily was pregnant. Again. And even though her entire body felt like she'd just run a marathon without training, her heart was overflowing with joy. A journey Emily didn't expect, but is grateful for. When viewers first met Emily and Kobe on 90 Day Fiancé, their story wasn't the smoothest. They faced cultural differences, financial stress, family pressure, and of course Emily's tendency to take control of everything. But with every challenge, every episode, and every heated pillow talk argument, viewers also saw the same thing, a couple who chose love anyway. Years later, that hadn't changed. But what had changed? Their household was louder, busier, and more chaotic than either of them ever imagined when they first reunited in Cameroon. 3 small children brought laughter, mess, and noise into every corner of their home, and now, a 4th little one was on the way. It wasn't planned. Emily laughed in her confessional for the show, her cheeks warm and her hair styled in fresh waves as producers asked her about the big news. But it feels right. It feels like this baby chose us at the perfect time. Even if I feel like I can't walk from the kitchen to the living room without needing a nap. She lifted her shoulders playfully. I'm exhausted. Like, really exhausted, she said, widening her eyes dramatically. But I'm so happy. The first signs, a tiredness she couldn't ignore. Emily wasn't new to pregnancy. She recognized the small clues instantly, the sudden wave of fatigue in the middle of folding laundry, the way her stomach tightened after only a few steps up the stairs, the shift in her cravings. At first, she joked that she was simply mom-tired. But one afternoon, while stirring a pot of soup on the stove, she paused. The room spun slightly. She put down the spoon and leaned on the counter. She wasn't just tired. This was pregnancy tired. A few minutes later, she held a small white test in her shaking hands. The 2 pink lines stared back at her, bold and clear, and Emily cried, not out of fear, not out of shock, but out of pure, overwhelming gratitude. Kobe, she'd called out, her voice cracking. He rushed into the room, confused at first until he saw the test. His face lit up with the kind of joy that made Emily fall in love with him years earlier. You're pregnant? He repeated softly, as though saying it too loud might break the magic of the moment. Emily nodded, tears streaming down her cheeks as Kobe wrapped her tightly in his arms. Another baby, another blessing, another adventure. The exhaustion becomes real, of course. The excitement didn't erase the reality. Pregnancy was hard. Harder this time. Much harder. Mama, I want waffles. Mama, she touched my toy. Mama, can we go outside? Mama, I spilled juice. Mama, Mama Aya? Emily loved being a mom more than anything, but being pregnant while running after 3 lively children was no small task. By noon every day, she felt like she needed a nap. By dinner time, she felt like she needed a vacation. And by bedtime, she felt like she needed a miracle. Even so, whenever she paused, whenever she felt the tiny, fluttering reminder of the new life growing inside of her, she felt nothing but love. I'm tired, she confessed on camera again, leaning back in a kitchen chair as she rubbed her belly gently. But I'm happy. I'm really happy. Kobe steps up. My queen needs rest. One of the sweetest changes came from Kobe. Viewers had always known him to be warm, patient, and protective, but during this pregnancy, he seemed to unlock a new version of himself. He took over morning routines. He cooked breakfast. He swept, vacuumed, folded laundry, and even learned how to braid their daughter's hair, something he had always avoided because he didn't want to ruin it. But now, my queen needs rest, he told the cameras with a proud grin. So I do what I can. Emily takes care of everyone. Now it's her turn to be taken care of. Emily smiled at him from the couch one evening as he brought her a cup of warm tea. You're spoiling me, she teased. I should, he said simply. You're carrying our child. That kind of love, the steady, unshakable kind, was something viewers had hoped they'd grow into, and they did. Family reactions, shock, laughter, and tears when they told Emily's parents. The reactions were priceless. Her dad blinked twice, then 3 more times. 4, he repeated, as if he needed the number clarified. As in, 4 children? Emily nodded sheepishly. Her mom gasped and clutched her chest dramatically. But after the surprise wore off, the joy settled in. You two make beautiful kids, her mom said, hugging her daughter. We're happy for you, and we're here to help. Her dad pretended to grumble about needing more coffee and more patience, but his soft smile gave him away. He loved being a grandpa, and now, he'd get to be one again. The emotional moments, Emily's private joy late at night. After the children were asleep, Emily often found herself awake, her hand resting on her belly as the house finally fell silent. She thought about the journey that brought her here. The girl she once was, uncertain, insecure, trying too hard to control everything. The woman she had become, strong, loving, more patient, more trusting. She whispered to her unborn baby, I can't wait to meet you, she said softly, you're already loved. Those quiet moments reminded her that despite the exhaustion, despite the long days and longer nights, motherhood was her greatest joy. Preparing for the future, the next weeks were filled with preparation, baby clothes, bassinet shopping, reorganizing bedrooms, and planning for the busy months ahead. Emily even began filming small video diaries for the show. Sometimes she looked absolutely drained, messy bun, pajama shirt, no makeup, eyes half closed. Sometimes she looked radiant, glowing skin, a soft smile, full of gratitude. But in every video, she was real, honest, vulnerable, and viewers loved her more for it.